Hi there, my name is Arib and I'm the Career Growth Specialist at Integrify. Today's topic is going to be about accepting a job offer. As always, this video is brought to you by Integrify, Integrify Nonprofit, and the EU Social Fund. So, after succeeding in the interviews before and going through successful interview processes, now you're in the final stage of actually accepting the job offer. We need to consider four different elements when you are at this point, including the first one, which is examining if it is the right one for you. So you might be involved in other interview processes, other recruitment stages with different companies. So you really need to assess whether this opportunity matches with your career prospects, uh, with your career and personal values, with your long-term prospects of working in the industry or for the role you really want to go at. And you need to give it a deep thought if it is the one for you, because you would ideally want to commit to the company at least for a year or two, at least for the long term, to see if it is a well fit for you. Secondly, it's very important to review the terms. And the terms of the contract essentially mean reviewing the work responsibilities, just going over through the work responsibilities stated in the contract so it is not particularly different from the responsibilities that you have discussed with your to be company. So making sure that everything aligns according to what has been discussed in the past discussions and interview stages. Go over the holiday, go over the salary, go over also the working hours and the kind of flexibility you have working from home and office. Thirdly, if you do decide to accept the offer, you do need to send in a resignation letter to your current firm or to your former firm to be. So making sure to keep a very good relations with your former employers. And to do that, there's a couple of ways you can let them know a bit in advance that you are looking to change companies, so that they might come to you and give a better offer, or even counter that offer. But if you are set in stone to actually go for a different opportunity, please let them know, to keep a good relations and to give them time to hire, since most companies have actually between 2 to 8 weeks, or even more depending on how long you have been working at the company. But typically it's from 2 to 8 weeks, the notice period. So it's very important for you to let them know in before, and also discuss with your future employer how soon you can join the team. So talking and having very transparent communication to your former employer, but also your new to be employer and company, is essential. Now, when you are accepting the job offer, it is very important to go through the terms, and that actually brings us to the point of negotiating the contract. So, a study done by Austin Belsack, who is one of the most famous career coaches in the US, but also globally, he did a study with two persons, and he did it sort of globally as well. But he analyzed two case studies, one person A and one person B. Person A managed to steer their career, and whenever that person jumped and switched roles from time to time over their entire career, that person managed to negotiate the salary for each position and for each role, and actually received 400,000 euros, or somewhere about that. And that number is an estimate. It can go even more. It can go above 400,000 euros over their career. And person B did not, unfortunately, negotiate, or did not have the confidence to negotiate, and they lost on actually gaining that much compensation over their career. So it is a tangle to communicate with your peers, communicate with the industry experts, ask what is the benchmark for the position that you are going to, what is the average pay, and how much can you receive earning. Think about your own value, and when you go and negotiate the salary, uh, your first concern might be fear. Your first concern might be that they will revoke the offer. So always do your research. Think about the value that you can bring them. Do not underestimate yourself. There is also a lot of research that can be done on Glassdoor. So going on Glassdoor, doing research for the company's reviews, how much does the company pay for the role in your specific region is integral for you to know where you stand as a potential employee. Moving on, the reasons. So hiring managers actually do expect you to negotiate, and that is a research done on salary.com. So 84% of hiring managers, they expect the candidates who are signing to negotiate their salary offers, so to come back to the table and negotiate it. Secondly, worldwide research has shown that 54% of people do not negotiate their salary. And as mentioned in the previous slide, they miss out on a lot of salary and compensation opportunity over the course of their career. So I know you will be afraid of your offer being revoked, but do not. You are the best candidate for the position as of now. They are definitely looking to sign you, bring you into the team, and see what kind of expertise you can offer to them. So be confident in your abilities to negotiate, since it will be very, very handy skill towards this particular role that you will be going to, but also in the future aspects of your career. Now, there are a couple of strategies that you can use. The first strategy is to actually see from the employer's perspective. What are they thinking? So, of course, the compensation that they will be providing you, it will be a small proportion of the project that you will be working in. So, a small fraction um, of your salary would be from the company's payroll, but also from the project that brings in a lot of revenue for them, right? A classic example is if you are working on a project that is worth millions of euros. Of course, you're working in that project with 5 or 10 or a dozen of team members, but you need to understand the capability, the diversity that you bring, and the expertise that you are bringing to the company itself, and not to undermine the value that you have. And it may be fixated, the compensation for the role itself, but you need to really understand and communicate to them what kind of estimations you see, what kind of worth of the project that you'll be working in means actually, so you can use that as a leverage to communicate the values. But it is essential to understand the company's perspective to get a good pay, to get a good uh, varied responsibilities for you. Negotiation strategy number two is the witness test in itself. So, is the company actually valuing you? Now, what does this really mean? It means, are you satisfied with the job? Are you happy for what you do? And this is where, when the first element of you actually having done the research for the core values, you being satisfied with the interview processes, you being invited to their company culture, and being really invited to join them in a really positive way. Are you happy to join them and work together with the company to help them achieve their professional goals, but also your personal values as well? So you need to ask yourself, are you going to be satisfied for the long term? Secondly, you need to understand if they are providing you a decent offer for the value that you provide. So, for all the skills and expertise that you're providing them, are they actually giving the same back to you? And if a company says that they don't have any room to negotiate, for example, with the salary, they only have a fixated range or a fixated number that they have allocated according to their yearly budget, then you can always leverage on other company benefits, such as you can ask them to invest in your education and learning, which could be a couple of €100 per year. You can ask them to take a few more days off with holidays. You can ask them to work from home. If you want to be more flexible, so to allow you that flexibility. So there is a lot of benefits around, and in addition to the company salary that you will be getting monthly. So money is not the only thing that can be negotiated. There is a lot of other things that can be used as a leverage. And the third part is just highlighting and bringing up the salary negotiation part earlier. So this could typically be in the final talks of the first or the second round of the interview processes, especially if you feel like the job is the right one for you, and if you're already having a good conversation. So setting expectations early on is always good. You can say, I'm flexible for the salary, but I'm being considered for the role between an X amount and Y amount. So you're being very clear to the employer, setting the expectations right up front when you're giving the interview stages. So you set the expectations, but you also don't want to come too much as money hungry, right? So you want to say after this phrase that money is not the most important thing for me. It's more about the company culture and values. So I know I can really fit into the team and deliver the expectations that you have from me. But of course, I would be wanting to be valued for the expertise that I can bring in. And secondly, getting aligned for the job negotiations. So if you are changing from a particular company, you should say, I was earning between this amount and the other amount, to say that this is the kind of salary that I've had before. Could you match that salary, or could I have it better if I'm changing positions? Typically when you change positions, there is lots of studies done that you end up gaining between 20% to 100% higher, at least when you change particular positions in an industry, or within a specific career as well. So bringing this negotiation, salary negotiation part earlier is always good to set expectations and to set the same level of clarity from the get-go. So using these three negotiation strategies, and really reflecting about your career prospects at that company, how you can develop before you put pen to paper and make the agreement, is essential when it comes to accepting a job offer. I hope I was able to provide you with clarity when it comes to accepting a job offer. And now go and accept the job offer. And hope to see you in the next video as well. Thank you. Follow us on social media. And that's all from me.